Lug nut. Fixed it.
Still sounds like you're on the wrong mic.
I was.
Oh, there it is.
I hadn't hit the button yet.
There she is.
Lug nut fixed it.
Mm-hmm.
This cord right here is... I'll take my headphones off real quick. So, I'm certain you hadn't heard about this, but have you seen Tony Khan being absolutely unhinged on Twitter?
A little, but not really. Like, enough that I know it has happened.
That's insane, because I consider you wrestling bubble adjacent. Like,
sense.
You're not in the wrestling bubble, but if something happens that's noteworthy, you know about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, he went off because they had the NXT and Dynamite were going the same night.
Yeah.
Because he was what's the word for it? Preempted by baseball.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's like, "Oh yeah, we're on Tuesday," and they were arguing back and forth on Twitter, and like he called Triple H a bald asshole on Twitter, and like started responding to like, it's like, "Hey, I'll show you first name bunch of numbers." Like,
yeah.
Like it was those level of people that he was responding to, and it's just like,
oh, it's fantastic.
First of all, put the Coke away. Second of all, like put the phone away. Like, goddamn. By the way, we know if we see somebody wearing one of those fucking Oregon jerseys, we could just jump their shit and then we can pay for everything.
491 of them.
And they were like $600.
Yeah, I don't know what they actually cost when they were new, or if that is the new cost.
That is the price, because that was from the actual retailer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So like the resale on them is probably going to be like 2 racks. Which is insane, because it's not even a jersey that they're going to wear.
Right.
It's just like somebody's going to wear it and you're going to be like, "What's that?" And they're going to have to explain it, but they're not going to explain it well because they're not going to really understand what it is. They're just going to know that they were rich and bought an expensive jersey.
Yeah. I'm emailing Fanatics again.
Oh, yeah. How's that going?
Because they're like, actually, I was able to look into it, and currently we're only available in Maryland, Massachusetts, Ohio, and Tennessee.
You're like, no shit.
And I'm like, yeah, I figured that out after I deposited money and went through all the steps to go ahead and make this shit happen. And then they're like, oh, you're not in one of the 4 states.
No, as a matter of fact,
8% of the country that can do this. Cool.
I like how they advertise it like it's some big deal. Like, check out our sports book. Come check it out, dude. And like, I'm always skeptical anyway, because I know I can't do anything because of the Indian contracts that we have up here.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Oregon has it easy. If the Oregon sports book is legit, it's run through the lottery, and you just do it on your phone, and you deposit and withdraw right there on your phone. It's still, I mean, it's kind of cool to go into a casino to make your bets, but it's kind of a pain in the ass.
Yeah, it's definitely a pain in the ass.
I mean, it's right off the freeway. You drive right past it when you've been here. David.
Where is he at?
I'm just gonna text him. Dave. Hi, I'm Dave. Hi, I'm Dave. Who's Dave? I started watching season 3 and then just like I was kind of over it.
I started on season 1 and was kind of over.
Really?
I just could not get into it.
Oh, I watched 2 whole seasons of Dave.
It
And
seems so slow and like, huh? Like that, that chick that was doing interviews in bed with different celebrities?
no, but go ahead.
Her name's Bobby something. She did one with Drake and like, I don't know, it was kind of a big deal. And she's interviewed Shaq and basically big names, and she's kind of just popped up out of nowhere.
Yeah.
But like the way she kind of just talks and is just almost Debbie Downer about everything, that's the way I viewed watching Dave.
Yeah, he was like, for a while it was like you were on his side because you're like, oh man, like this is our guy, and he's an underdog who's like, the show's got heart, and he's showing, a side of himself and all this, and you're like, this is really cool. And then season 2, you're like, okay, Dave, like now you're a prick, like we get it, the whole season you're a douchebag, and it's because you're not making the music that you're supposed to be making, so you're lashing out at everybody and being an asshole. And then like I watched the first episode of season 3 and I'm like, eh.
Yeah, no. Yeah, no.
Yeah, no. Yeah. No.
Yeah, no is the name of the pre-show.
But yeah, no. Yeah,
Uh,
it's funny too because like Jen and I sat down to watch it and she's like, "Oh yeah, let's watch the first episode." And we did. I think we're both just kind of like, whatever. This isn't. I was like, "So do you want to watch Dave?" And she's like, "You can watch Dave on your own." I'm like, "Nah."
I kind of like I tried to catch up on the Orville,
Yeah.
but I realized without it being on broadcast TV, like where I can just put it on and it's on, I'm not interested in it. You
Yeah.
making me go look for it and then it's digitally streamed, but then you throw commercials in, that pisses me off.
That's fucked.
Yeah. And I get that they're like, oh, it's cheaper because you get commercials. I'm like, but I don't care. I'm paying in general. That should be
Yeah.
enough.
I've already paid for this
Yeah.
in
So,
blood.
I did watch a couple movies though that were
Movies.
yeah, they were all right. I
What'd you
watched
watch?
well there was that one we saw something about it a couple weeks ago. It was like I think it was Totally Killer. It's the Back to the Future meets like Scream kind of.
Yeah. I remember you talking about
It's
that.
actually pretty good.
Is
Like
it? All right.
it's not like great, but it's entertaining. And
Good enough?
I wasn't like there wasn't any point where I was sitting there looking at my phone.
I wonder if there's any way to see this movie other than having the DVD of it.
Which one?
It's called Murder Party. It's one of my favorite movies.
It sounds familiar.
It's on Pluto.
Oh, and that's free.
It's on Tubi. It's on Vudu.
So it's on free things.
Yeah.
And Voodoo.
And Vudu.
Yeah.
So yeah, the movie is called Murder Party. I'll send you a link to it. It's just completely nonsense.
Mm.
The concept is this guy gets invited or he finds an invitation on the street to a murder party. And so he gets dressed in a costume and he shows up to the party. And when he gets there, the plan is to murder him. And so he has to escape. And it's a comedy based on him trying to escape from these people trying to kill him.
Okay.
I'll see if I can find if they have a trailer for it.
So the other movie I watched was called Being Frank, and it's what is his fucking name? Comedian, dumpy guy, has a beard,
Kreischer?
blonde hair. No, I watched his movie too.
Oh, Gaffigan.
The Machine. Yep, Jim Gaffigan. Yep. And the premise is, his son finds out that he has two families.
Oh shit.
And it's actually like it's kind of funny. Skylar White is the mom on one of the families.
I realized I could just show you on Skype.
Oh yeah. Yep, you can do that.
I heard a thing about how many like second families got exposed during COVID.
Really?
Yeah, because there were a lot of people who like they would go on business trips to go be with their other family for 2 weeks, and then they couldn't find an excuse to go to Baltimore for 2 weeks.
Right.
And then they had to explain why they couldn't. Oh, I'm quarantined here in Austin, and
Yeah.
after a while you can only keep it up for so long.
Right. That's interesting. God, that would be a good movie.
That would be a good movie.
What do you
Yeah.
call it?
Something in Seattle.
COVID in Seattle.
COVID in Seattle.
Oh, there's
Ad
this
blockers not
motherfucker.
allowed on YouTube. Okay, fine, whatever. Like you can use your I
Oh
know
my
ad
God.
blockers not going to stop you.
Dave, your package that you ordered to my house is still in my car.
Oh, is Dave here? Hi, Dave.
Hey, Jake. The one that I said that I was going to come pick up yesterday after class?
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Hi, Dave.
Yeah, so that was the reason I left it in the navigator, because I was like, whether I'm here or not, the navigator, you know the code to unlock it, so.
All right. I know who to call to find out.
All right, can y'all hear this?
Yeah.
All right, we're going to check this out.
Murder party.
The invitation said murder party. If some jackass is dumb enough to come here, then he deserves to die.
It's a white male. He's perfect.
And when we're done, we'll rule the scene.
Happy Halloween.
Welcome to your murder.
Was that Ryan Dunn?
I think it is.
Really? They're letting people in.
Fucking Hellboy? Yeah, that was a boob.
Well, it was. Yes, this movie is just completely absurd.
Just going to party!
Everybody dies.
Spoiler alert.
So, if you liked that, you're going to like that other movie.
Okay.
Totally Killer.
Fair enough.
Like it's.
Oh, you watched it, Robin?
I did. I watched it. Did I watch it? I started it last night, and then it was like 1 a.m. I was like, oh, I fucking need to sleep, and so I finally went to sleep.
Oh yeah.
Finished it today.
That's how I've been with the new Batman game. Like, I'll do all my work, and then I'm like, all right, I'm gonna play some Xbox.
Yeah.
And I play the new Batman game.
Batman.
Oh, you don't.
Jake didn't know.
Yeah, I was like, Jake's the Batman guy.
No.
Your ass better call somebody.
Googling new Batman game.
It's Knights of Gotham, and you don't actually get to play as Batman.
Oh.
And the map is twice as big as Arkham Asylum, I think is what they said.
Yeah.
But you don't get to be Batman.
No. So the premise
of
of
it
it
is
is
guys. It's like Suicide Squad.
Yeah. No. The premise is Batman dies and he initiates some protocol because Batman has protocols, and it basically it's like GTA, where it's one of those large map you go and do shits, but you
Gotham
can
Knights.
Yeah, and you can either
been out
be
since 2015.
Has it?
Oh, no, it came out this time last year. It came out October 21st, literally almost a year ago, October 21st, 22.
Wow.
Well, it's just now on Game Pass, and that is why I play it now.
This is the first I'm hearing of this.
Graphics quality. Why does Gotham Knights look so bad?
Why is Michael Penis Jr. a negative 140 for the fucking Heisman? Fuck that.
It's not as it's harder to be like go Ducks when you open a bottle top. What's wrong with your eye, Dave?
Fucks.
I've got a bulging eye vein. I don't know if you can see it.
Wait, now your bottom lid is fucking up too?
Yep. Next thing you know, this eye's
You're gonna be
closed.
a fucking pirate.
Let me eat your booty.
He's like,
I'll be talking to people and be like, Dave the pirate. They're like, Dave the pirate.
Yeah,
like,
Dave the
like,
pirate.
Dave the pirate. Dresses like a pirate.
Arr.
I just got a notification. Get Reggie Watts tickets you thought were gone for like next week, or like later this week.
Did you know that they didn't sell out the Husky game until like last Tuesday?
That's
we could
hilarious.
have bought tickets from them for $70.
That's $41 to go see Reggie Watts on Sunday.
That's a good deal.
Balcony.
I've seen some deals in my day, and that's a good one.
That's on there.
I wonder
And I
who.
wonder.
Oh, wait. What time is it? I'll be right
Game
back.
time woo.
And me.
I'm gonna see how much Reggie Watts is on Vivid Seats.
Oh yeah, the other one, The Machine. I watched that because it's on Netflix.
Was it
And
good?
I liked it. It's definitely built on the absurd. It's yeah. I don't know if you would like it. Dave would like it.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't like it.
It's got Mark Hamill, and he's pretty funny in it.
Main floor row W, $47 for Reggie Watts. That's not bad.
Did you just buy your ticket, or?
I mean,
I'm
I'll be
on
on
ticket right now.
I'll be on my way back from the Duck game.
Well, what time is it?
$8.
Huh. You probably should be back by then. It's Reggie Watts.
There's a possibility I'll be back by then.
Because you haven't seen him yet, have you?
I have not.
You need to. From what I've heard, he's one of those that doesn't plan a set or anything. Like, he's got pieces that he'll use, but he just kind of flows to whatever. Right. Yep.
I was born in Montana.
Dave
wasn't too bad.
So I went to go grab a beer.
What?
The last beer in the house. My dad's been on vacation since Monday.
I like that it blurred out the name like it's some like we're on like.
Get yourself a fresh cold beer.
We're on basic cable.
But Dad's been on vacation, and we had a 20-pack or 18-pack of
I'm not on
Keystone and a 30-pack of Light. Beer. And he was gone for 2 days because Mom and Dad did some stuff.
Oh my God.
He was gone for 2 days for the Nippa Hut.
He's like, because I've been drinking, bitch.
Yeah. But one beer left.
Hey, check out this thing I made. It's you put glitter in this and then fill a box with glitter and put this in it. And then when they open the box, you can mail it anywhere. Yep.
You can mail it anywhere. Where? Let's say one were to mail that. Where would one mail that, for instance?
For instance, my sister's ex-husband's house.
Which one?
The most recent one. The darkest one.
I was talking to one of the black dudes I work with today, and he's talking about it being, he's like, when does the daylight savings time happen? I'm like, why are you not properly melanated with the sun being up, not being up this early? He's like, no, I'm only half melanated anyway. Only my dad is black.
I'm saying, I got these things called ovens.
I was like, I would suggest, and I kind of outed myself. I mean, it's not like anybody was questioning it, but they're like, someone said, he's like, yeah, I have to take 2,200 milligrams of vitamin D, and he's like, so wait, you're taking 22 grams of vitamin D? I'm like, damn, that's almost an ounce. And they both look at me and I'm like,
oh,
I'm like,
awesome.
They're like, what? I'm like, yeah, an ounce is 28 grams. I mean, who doesn't know that?
I take 5,000 milligrams of vitamin D.
Like,
because,
the horse pills, basically.
No, I'll show you. They're tiny.
I gave a girl, this one chick I was seeing one time, I gave her 2 inches of vitamin D one time.
Oh yeah, did you?
Mm-hmm. Just once though.
I dropped it. It's the last one in the bottle.
Great. Because apparently I'm incredibly vitamin D deficient.
Got another bottle.
Makes sense.
Comes with the territory, right?
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, can you see how they're like tiny?
Oh wow.
That's 5,000 milligram.
I expected it to be a goddamn horse pill.
Mm-mm.
Apparently it'll like, not only will it like help with my skin, but it'll apparently like help with my depression too.
That's what the doctors made me take it for, because they're like, well, as you get older, your body uses it less effectively, and so if you just take this, it's not going to hurt anything. So take it. And they tested me, and I was low. I had low D.
Yeah.
Low D.
Yeah. I was like, well, I do hang a little low. And then he's like, no, what? Huh?
You're like, what? And like,
Huh?
yeah, the water's cold.
Dave, do you have Netflix?
Say that again. You broke
Do you
up.
have Netflix?
You have Dave
Yes.
Flicks.
I got it somewhere on one of these TVs.
The Machine. You should
Oh
watch it.
yeah,
Machine.
I'm gonna watch
It's on
that.
there. I watched 4
Mhm.
movies, I guess. 'Cause I watched Tropic Thunder, The Machine,
Oh, damn.
Being Frank. Oh yeah, now I'm
Oh.
going to tell you about that one.
I watch it only because you said I should watch it. I wasn't really like I didn't care about that.
Yeah, I was like,
Like I think I've told you guys before. Like he's doing his thing. That's fine. Like I just don't think he's that funny.
I don't think he's funny either.
He's okay funny, but
Like I
Mark
think Tom,
Hamill is in it, and Mark Hamill is really funny.
Oh, okay. Then I'll watch it. But like Tom Segura, I think is hilarious.
Tom
See,
Segura is hilarious.
Every time I watch, my dad makes me watch a Two Bears clip. It's like half the time it's just Bert Kreischer cry laughing into the microphone. And
See, that makes me laugh though.
but
It used to.
It doesn't me. I don't, because yeah, like Tom Segura will say something and then Bert Kreischer's like,
I feel like it is somewhat well established that I will laugh at the same thing every time I hear
that's
it.
true. It is true.
So Bert's laugh, if it makes me laugh once, it's gonna make me laugh every time. Just like,
No, like
Jake will start the show and Dave will be like, "Well, these people," and I'll fucking laugh. I know it's coming.
Well,
Still laugh.
you were watching
Tropic
Thunder today, and there comes a line you start laughing. I'm like, God damn it, Robin! Like I knew you were gonna laugh when it happened too. I was like,
I knew the line, and I was still laughing at it.
you know what would be fun is
What would be fun, Jake?
oh well, you want to hear it? Here it goes. Get all of us together, the people who've seen that movie about 100 times, and it like see if we can go all the way through the movie quoting it, and any line we drop, everyone has to take a drink.
Ooh,
I like that game.
that could be fun.
Mm-hmm.
If we end up getting like game day for USC, and the game isn't until 7, we should do it at tailgating.
Oh, that would
We
be
just get
chaos.
fucking hammered.
Just schmammered.
Just
I'm not drinking beer that day.
Liquor
Dave's making a return.
Oh no.
Liquor Dave.
Oh
I
man.
already
Hey,
have-
so far
actually-
no suspensions this year. Good on us.
Right?
I'm actually bringing Liquor Dave back this game.
All
Oh,
right.
God. Please make sure
because-
you shit before we leave Eugene.
Yeah,
You got out of my car. Well, almost got out of my car and just,
You farted. You had some of the worst
Oh,
fucking
oh,
farts,
yeah.
dude.
oh my God. And you're like, I gotta use your
Holy.
bathroom. I'm like, you can't use yours. Fuck.
I,
I already know what it smells like. I get the free preview.
No, he
Yeah,
had to
you're right.
drive across town to shake it down into his his colon. What's the weather? What's the weather gonna be like?
Orange juice and whipped cream
It's
vodka.
68 degrees. It's supposed to be fairly cool.
Weather
Cool.
Weather Eugene Saturday.
Yeah, 65, my bad.
What we got the noon game? Lame. All right, so we've got a high of 66. So a hoodie weather.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Okay.
We may take them off, but we're bringing them, until then, tarps on, boys.
Tarps on.
So it's tarps off.
Tarps
time.
off, boys. For what?
For what? Oh yeah, so while we're pre-showing, what are we doing for food? Because Rebecca's doing brats and that sort of stuff, and she asked me today, what are you guys doing? And I was like,
Good question, dog.
I don't know. I'll ask Dave and Jake later.
Well, what sort
Oh
of
shit. I gotta catch up with my mom. I told her that I would buy $50 worth of lumpia for the next home game.
Well,
All right.
But don't settle on that yet, because you know how long it takes her.
I was thinking that. I was like, that's
Yeah.
a lot of work right there.
Because I told her a couple weeks ago, but if she'd forgotten, because I had forgotten.
Because
until
it's
just
been
now.
a month since our last fucking game.
Yeah, because I had mentioned it to her, and she's like, yeah, absolutely. I also said, hey, there's a lady at the tailgate that wants to buy $50 of lumpia. Would you? Because if I said, hey, can I take some lumpia? She would just be like, yeah, absolutely.
Right.
That's how. I mean, you've been over there, Robin, and you're like, oh, here's some money, and she just throws it back
She's
at
like,
you.
no. I'm
She's like, what are you doing?
Motherfucker, Like,
It's like,
one
this
of us
is
has
your
to
business.
sneak it in there.
Yeah,
Fucking-
I've
come on,
snuck
man.
hundreds of dollars of money into that thing.
That's what she said.
Heyo. But
But-
so she said brats though. So do you want? Yeah, I guess check that out, and then I'll text her, and let her know what we
Mhm.
figure out.
Like what else?
But brats sounded good.
Yeah.
Brats sound all right. I'm not always super down for brats though, so I'm very mercurial when it comes to brats.
Well, you could cook some wings, and I can bring barbecue sauce.
Cook up some wings.
I still have all those sauces from last year. It's not like they go bad.
That's fair. Figure out, because I think I'll be coming down from Lebanon Saturday morning. We'll figure it out.
We get Ben to cook some wings.
Ben's not coming.
What?
The stupid army, remember?
Who the fuck said he could do that?
Dude, I talked to my dad today. I said I'm fucking mad at the army. Shit's stupid. Don't they know that there's football?
You can't army during football season.
Yeah, like the Army-Navy game is very important. Like they
Right.
should understand.
Did I tell you guys that I was looking at getting tickets for that thing, for the Army-Navy game, when it was in Philadelphia a couple years back?
How much were they?
The cheapest ticket was $12,000 or something like that. That I could
That's
find.
that's outlandish.
American?
Oh no, sorry, 1200. Sorry, I said 12,000.
Oh,
$1,200.
American?
But still $1,200.
That's still ridiculous.
Yeah,
But
well, because it was in Philadelphia, and you know my dad, we like history, so I was like, cool, this would be cool father-son trip. I would fly us out to Philly. I'd get a hotel room. We'd go to the Army-Navy game, which really doesn't mean anything to us because that's all officer shit.
Yeah.
But we still go back and forth.
just go
like-
find Will Smith.
Yeah, right. And then then we get to bebop around old Philly.
Yes, Philadelphia, born and raised.
When was the last time you heard someone say, I'm gonna bebop around there? But anyways,
Little bebop around
I'm
old
gonna bebop
Philadelphia.
around old Philly.
Then Rocksteady.
How much?
Get a
how
cheap
much
Rocksteady
do you
my
think-
way on down.
What's the over under on how much a ticket for the Army Navy game is this season?
$8.50.
I'm gonna go with. Well, you have to give us a number if you're gonna say over under. don't you?
Well, tell me what you think. How much you think they are then?
I'm
I'll tell
gonna.
you.
Where's the game being held? Because I know the Philly price. That's part of-
Canada. No, it looks like Gillette Field.
Is that
Oh,
in Israel?
Yeah. Bombed out,
Sorry.
depleted.
Robin was high at 850.
Okay.
Okay.
See, I was
Oh,
just
really?
judging from Dave's number,
Mhm.
but it is early too. So
Yeah. I'll just go. I'll just go 475.
Pretty good. 408.
oh,
ticket.
okay.
That's yeah. If it would have been 408 for the Philly game, yeah, I would
I
have.
still would have went. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Well, because this is when I was working at the prison, and I was making all the monies.
Prison money. Yep.
Prison money.
You can
Yep.
get club level for
Speaking
like,
of prison, I find it
$1,400
weird that UTEP's jerseys say minors on them.
And they misspelled it with an O instead
They
of an E.
spelled it. They spelled it wrong.
MONMINOR.
Yeah,
He's
hold
all
on.
M-O-N. God damn it, Dave.
Boners.
Moaners.
Let's go,
Moaners. Let's
All
go,
right, man.
Moaners.
Well,
These
look at that
people.
show.
Yeah.
All right, here we are. We're back again. It's another edition. It's another episode of my show, and I just got incredibly encouraged because I found out what the price of Kraken tickets are now. Holy crap, Scylla.
Wait, is it crack and tickets or just cracking tickets?
The crack and ticket. No, crack.
Oh,
and
okay.
tickets. They're down to $50 hairs.
Really?
A reasonable price. A reasonable price for a hockey match.
Yep, we're getting off on a tangent because I've never been to a hockey game.
And I'm Robin.
And I'm Robin. And I feel like I should go up and see some Kraken. Anyway, speaking of Krakens, UTEP, the Moanin Miners.
The Moanin Miners.
The Moanin Miners. This weekend.
We're off to a hot start.
We're off to a hot start with some Moanin Miners. It's Robin.
Hey now.
Hey, don't say
now.
those two things too closely together.
I don't know if we want to put that into the world. It's already out there though, I guess. Again.
Just like herpes, it's out there.
It's never going anywhere. Yeah, so this is the most fucked up intro we've had in at least 6 or 7 weeks. Bringing it back around to the originator, the hoop snake known as Jake.
It's me. It's one take Jake back in the saddle again. I feel like Marshawn Lynch. Marshawn Lynch is a listener of the podcast because he was talking about going on and doing the voiceover for Darth Vader. And he said that he was one take Jake.
He did say that.
I've been saying it for a few years. Ever since I heard Jake the Snake Roberts say it, I made that mine. Since one of us talks into a microphone on a regular basis.
You need to make like Deion Sanders and patent that or whatever he does.
Yeah, like
pretty much everything that comes out. Everything that comes out of his mouth.
Like, Deion, you can't just put 2 words together and have that be a word. He's like, horse hockey. What? No.
The funny thing is, like, the best part of Deion not swearing is he's definitely swearing. He's like, man, you got to forget about these mother fudgers out here, man. And
Right.
You know, these cock smudgeners, you know, they're gonna foul up your mother flippin' day. And you can't let that stuff get to you, man.
How about the
my nieces
late game?
tell me
he's like no one wants to watch a darn game at 8:00.
Right.
Well, yeah, bullshit. We don't.
Yeah.
I'll watch a football game at any time of the day.
I'm watching one right now.
Yeah, if I had another screen, I guess I do. I mean, yeah, fuck around. Like, you're mad that you're on the big noon kickoff. I remember back when Alex was alive, like, he came up here and we watched a 9 a.m. football game, Oregon against Ohio State, and we got hammered at the casino just watching the Ducks kick the shit out of Ohio State in their house.
It did happen. Did you see the Deion Sanders skit from Saturday Night Live?
I have not seen that.
Oh.
Tell him, Hawk.
Well, how about you YouTube it, Jake?
All right, I'll pull it up.
We can all watch it right now.
We all watch it. We'll watch it together.
Yeah.
But tell the people for context why this is so pertinent to us.
Well, I mean, anybody that listens to the show has heard us discuss Deion Sanders and the stuff he continues to say every week to the media, like it's just over and over and over again. And then he's like, you see me now, you know, all that shit. Like, everybody knows that Deion Sanders coaches Colorado right now because the media has stuffed it down our throat.
People that don't even watch college football.
They know.
They know.
Yeah.
They know.
It's like the college version of a Swiftie these days.
Yeah, okay.
Taylor Swift was also on Saturday Night Live this week.
No,
what a
that makes sense.
Man, Taylor Swift. Fuck Taylor Swift. Yeah, I
would. Yep.
Travis does.
Oh, here we go.
Well, one of the most exciting stories in college football is the Colorado Buffaloes, who have had a remarkable turnaround thanks to their coach,
we can hear it.
sport
Yeah.
legend Deion Sanders. Here to comment is Deion Sanders.
Wait, you can't?
Yeah.
What's up, Jake?
What's up, man?
Like that black dad joke.
There.
Prime time in the house. You know what I'm saying? We just keep winning, man. Every game, every minute, we winning at life.
Yeah. Well, you're also 4-3, so so you have lost a few.
Colin, look at me.
Look at me, man.
What about me makes you think that I care about what you think about me? You don't understand.
I love when you could, like, the look at me man definitely broke him.
Look at me, man.
Explosive. Defense, try it. It's a complete package, man.
Yeah, well, millions of people are watching your games. You've obviously turned the program around, but it's not perfect. I mean, just last night, you lost to Stanford in double overtime.
Wasn't that crazy? We were up 29-0 at the half.
Yeah.
So I went home and fell asleep. I woke up this morning shocked as anyone. But come on, man, nobody's perfect. Name one team that's undefeated.
Okay, well, there's Georgia.
Right.
Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
Ohio State.
That's another one.
Florida State.
Forgot about them.
Oklahoma.
Sure.
Penn State.
Indeed.
Washington.
Fuck
Good
them.
team.
North
Fuck
Carolina.
Tar Heels.
Air Force.
And see, that's exactly my point.
What is your point?
Colin, look at me, man. To me, coaching is a higher calling.
Right, that's right. You started
Tar
your coaching
Heels.
career, right, at
Look at me,
Jackson
man.
State, which is an HBCU or historically black college, right?
Oh yeah, they stole our
Very
joke.
good, Colin.
Yeah, this is why it's important.
Very good, Colin.
That's very good. You know, I truly believe that God called me there. And he said, this is your destiny.
Right, and then 3 years later, you went to Chicago. I mean, it's Colorado.
Yes, that's right. Because God called me again and was like, my bad. And then he showed me the promised land of Colorado. I had these visions, Colin, a place where there was white people. Like every single person was white. Not many people know this, but Colorado is an HWCU, or historically white college. Kind of like where you went, Colin.
Well, I mean, Harvard is pretty diverse, you know.
Colin,
Look at me.
Look at that.
look at me, man. Now look at Chase. Now look at the audience. Now look at my fingers. Boom. Man, I got you. Colin, we unstoppable, man. We've only lost 3 games. I can't even think of a team that's lost fewer than that.
Well, there's Texas,
Okay,
Alabama,
great program.
Ole Miss,
Them too.
you know, Utah,
Yeah.
Duke,
Really?
Tennessee,
Balls.
yep, USC,
Yeah, they beat us too.
yep, Missouri,
One more.
BYU,
2 more.
Tulane,
3 more.
Iowa,
4 more.
Miami of Ohio.
All right, you can stop now. Colin, some teams might have a better record, but we getting paid. NIL deals, baby. It's like I said when I was the musical guest on this very show back in '95. Look at
God.
this.
Oh God.
Oh my goodness.
That is the
But give
coach
the money.
of Colorado.
Yeah, really, really nice moves.
Colin,
Look at me, man.
The whole time.
name a more iconic musical guest on SNL.
God.
Well, there's Prince,
Sure.
David Bowie,
Legend.
Jay-Z,
Yeah.
Nirvana,
Rest in peace.
Sinead O'Connor,
Brave lady.
U2.
Okay. But after them, and like maybe the next 300, it's prime time, baby.
Deion Sanders.
That's awesome.
Look at me, man.
Look at me, man.
Look at me,
I
man.
wish we could have a Deion Sanders reacts video to that.
Yeah,
Still,
like-
look at me, man.
Like right now, I don't think he wants to have. Well, unfortunately, he has a video following him everywhere, but I don't think he wants to react to anything right now.
Did you see the video from after the game?
Yeah.
hmm
And
I
we
liked
practicing tomorrow. I was like, yeah, that's
Yep.
what you fucking do when your team sucks
Mhm.
it up. And we
Yep.
practicing
Tomorrow.
tomorrow.
On a
No
Sunday.
days off.
The only I did think it was kind of weird that he had this gigantic platform for him to weeble wobble around on and make a whole bunch of noise.
I feel like they take that to every game.
Exactly. Well, they're at home for that, but it's like
Well then.
just have everyone take a knee.
Yeah.
Like
He's
if
like,
you
hey,
really
look at me, man.
look at
I'm
me,
up
man.
here. On the podium. Talking to y'all.
One man
About
on
a
the podium,
game.
one
I keep
podium,
receipts.
one stare.
And all of a sudden he turns into Allen Iverson.
We talking about practice.
Practice.
You guys ever hear the rest of that interview, like how they got to that point?
Yeah,
Like when you realize what he was actually talking about, he had a really
he
good
wasn't
point.
wrong.
No,
Yeah.
no, he wasn't wrong. If you only take the context of the part where he says it's practice, and it sounds like he doesn't think practice is an important thing.
Not a game.
Yeah, like watch the first 5 minutes of that interview.
Yeah,
Or
he's
that
like,
press conference.
he's like, I've played in about 137 consecutive games, and like, didn't somebody die, like, or somebody was in the hospital or something like that, and he missed a
Probably.
practice, and they got in a shit about it.
Let's look it up.
Jamie, look that up.
Young Jamie. We need
Hey,
young
Jaime!
Jamie here.
We're low budget. It's Jaime.
Jaime.
He's
It's
gonna
actually
use
Kenner.
he's gonna use a Google.
Hey, Google.
Google.
Google. I like. There's this one dude on the TikTok who he's this Puerto Rican guy, and he gets all of his coworkers to say the names of things.
They're so good.
But they're like, they're all Latin, so they're and then he writes what they actually say. He's like, all right, what is the name of this team? And it's like, oh, the Pittsburgh Steelers, Steelers, and then you have a Pickbird, and then E Steelers. Shit's funny.
All right,
There's another
guy.
guy.
It's like long.
There's
like
another
long.
guy that does all the videos and he does the voices, but he says either Puerto Ricans or Dominicans pronouncing baseball players' names.
It's the same guy.
Yeah.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Yeah, same guy. He's like, Mexican Americans don't like to go to work early, but they do anyway, so they go real slow. Mexican Americans don't like to have a job, so they go stand out in front of Home Depot and hope they get hit by a car. Mexican American. Wait.
I was like, this is just a filler until Robin gets the story ready.
I know.
Pretty much.
It's
I've
gonna
been
take
watching
me a
Little
while.
Cheech and Chong lately, so
Right.
Mexican
Americans.
I know Jake sent it to me the other day because I'm pretty sure like I had literally just watched it, and then Jake has not been sending TikToks like he normally does.
Well, not the last couple days. I've been playing games.
What have you been
Football
playing there,
teams
Jake?
are
Oh,
too.
there we go.
Hey Luis, ¿cómo se llama ese equipo? Esto es Clemson Tigers.
Clemson Tigers.
Y este equipo aquí, José, Pittsburgh Panthers.
Pittsburgh Panther.
Dookie Blue Devils. Dookie Blue Debbie.
Stop.
Audio
Okay,
kicked out
Luis,
there.
y este aquí, los duros, Syracuse Oreille.
Syracuse, ore. That's what, we should just start calling these teams this all the time.
Ese cuñado
I do.
mío, yo creo que vive allá. Ese es North Carolina Tahili.
Tahili.
No,
Why am I
Carolina
getting- dude, I didn't get
Tahilis.
texts this whole time, and all of a sudden I'm showing a video, and I'm getting text after text after text.
The Demon Bakers.
Damon Bakers. There was another one that he said he had him pronounce state names, and they got to Oregon, and Oregon was funny.
Is it Oregon?
Oregon.
Oregon.
Oregon. Oregon.
Pronounce U.S. states part 7.
I'm here with the GOAT, y'all. ¿Cómo se llama esta ahí? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. ¿Cómo se llama esta ahí?
Casas.
Ok, está aquí. Oregon.
Oregon.
Oh, they got. Oh, fuck.
So you watched some shit, did you, Robin?
I watched all the movies. You want to know
Which
about
one? Which one do you want to talk about first?
What movies did you watch?
them? I'm gonna go with
On my summer
Killer.
vacation.
What was the killer one? Killer.
Attack of the
So-
Killer Tomatoes?
Um,
Killer
Killer Kowalski. No. What the
Killer-
fuck was it?
Totally Killer.
Totally Killer. There we
Totally
go.
Kill Her.
There we
I
go.
hardly knew her.
Okay, so Totally Killer. It's on Amazon. If you have Amazon Prime, it's free. It's got Claire from Modern Family, and I think she's about the only famous-ish person in it.
Which one's
Anyway.
Claire?
Claire's the mom.
White
Oh, yeah.
Mom.
Yep.
White Mom.
White mom. I'm glad you clarified because there is another one. Yeah.
Well, if she wasn't white, she wouldn't be named Claire.
So it's like advertised as a Back to the Future and Scream comedy. And it is. It's like it starts off in now, and this Claire's mom was friends. Claire's mom has got to go on. She was friends with these people that got murdered 23 years ago or something like that. Maybe it was 35. I don't remember. I don't know why 23 is in my head. And and the killer comes back, and is like after Claire. Well, somehow the daughter gets in a time machine. It's not a hot tub. It's just a regular time machine. Goes back and is like changing things, and things are, I don't know. You just got to watch it. Like the advertisement for it was pretty simple. It was like Back to the Future and Scream. And I was like, I mean, that sounds good enough for me. I'll check it out, and it's free. So why not?
How do you feel about, and we kind of talked about the Flash a little bit. This is more touching on the concept of time travel. How do you feel about like the whole butterfly effect thing in movies? Do you feel like it's kind of overblown or used to a lazy an effect at this point?
I felt like the way they used it was pretty good, because they even talked about Endgame. They mentioned Endgame in the movie. They talked about Back to the Future. And the way they explained how time works is that like time is like a river flowing, and
time is like a river flowing.
If you get out of the river and run back upstream to the past, and then you change some stuff, well, the ripples are going to change down the stream, but it's not going to completely change things like you think it will. And so it was, and like the further away from that spot, the less is going to have diverged. So it kind of explains it like that. And they're back there trying to stop this killer. And I don't know, you just got to watch it. Like it's worth your time. And especially if you're free and have nothing else going on.
No. Well, I was just thinking about, like, you're talking about like the butterfly effect, right? Like step on a bug and Hitler won the war kind of thing. Like I want them to do a movie, right? I want to do a movie where it's like little things change, right? Just something changes where the main character's like, wait, what? Like
the Mandela effect.
Yeah.
They mentioned like that too. They mentioned the Mandela effect in it. Like because they realized that, or a couple of them realized that she's went back in time, because if you think again about the river keeps moving where they're at. So while she's back in the past, time is still traveling at the relative speed of time. Yeah. And so as she changes things, they kind of realize, oh wait, this is not how I remember it. Is this Mandela effect, or do I know about how things were before? What's going on? Like,
and Sinbad was a movie.
It was a movie. Yeah.
Sinbad was
in a movie. Yeah.
Yeah, Sinbad was in a movie.
Shazam? Was it Shazam or
Steel?
No, Kazam. Sinbad was Steel.
Ugh, man. What? But anyway,
you want to talk about a comic crossover that didn't work? How about Steel? Damn.
Yeah.
That was one they tried. I mean, the concept was good.
It went the way of his rap career.
Was good too. I listened to the tape of the soundtrack like all the time. It's one of those. If I were to put it on, I could probably rap 60% of the album, just from like latent memories that are dead in my brain from the late 90s.
Yeah, it's like listening to old songs. There's so many that I'll be like, why do I know the words to this?
I did that.
No reference.
Oh, it was Young Jeezy, the Recession album. Like I put that on the other day because my buddy's like, oh yeah, dude, I was listening to Young Jeezy the other day. This shit's awesome still. And so I put it on and I was like, guess who's back and he's stunting on it. I was like, oh, I remember all the words to all of these songs, and I haven't listened to this shit in like 15 years.
Hey, go.
Too hot.
I keep thinking that this
clothes off.
This ball of vodka has a cork in it, so I keep twisting it like this, and then I realize
it looks like you're jerking the top of your penis.
My sleeves fell off.
Hold on, let me get this real quick. All right.
But yeah, I watched a bunch of movies. I didn't realize it until we started talking about movies. I watched The Machine, which is the Burt Kreischer movie. Like, you kind of already know what it's about. He talks about how his trip to Russia when he was in college changed his life. But in the story, he talks about how he robbed his classmates and robbed the whole train. And in the movie, they stole a watch from a guy who becomes a gangster later. And the guy realizes that, oh, that guy that was the machine is now famous and I can find him. So I'm going to send my daughter to go get that watch and he's going to come help us find it. And so somehow that's pretty much the plot. They bring Bert to Russia and he deals with the mafia again and tries to find a watch. Mark Hamill's in it though, so he's pretty funny. Yeah.
He does cocaine in the movie.
They did make a joke about everybody wants to be Batman, and he's like, I laughed out loud because I was like, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's a good joke.
That's a deep cut too.
Right, right. Because not everyone's gonna get it, but
it took me a second. I was like, wait a minute. Oh yeah.
For those of you that don't know,
right.
Nobody tell them.
Nobody. Okay, we're not gonna tell them. We're not gonna tell them.
Not telling them.
Yeah.
If you don't know, you don't know.
I do have. I've gotten to the point because Robin knows this. I watch a lot of the animated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I get giddy when I'm like I hear his voice as him. I'm like, yeah, there he is. Like when
that's the whole reason to play. Like half the reason to play the Arkham games is Mark Hamill as the Joker.
Oh, you ruined. You just did it.
No, see, the people they're not listening. They're Googling right now.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
They're looking it up.
Yeah. But yeah, but when I watch one and it's not him, I'm like, who is this hack?
Boo!
Unless it's Heath Ledger.
Mm-hmm. But I know that there's another guy. Other than Mark Hamill, there's one other one who does the Joker regularly.
On the animated?
Yeah, on the animated. It's because Mark Hamill hasn't done all of them, but there's one other guy, and I can't remember who he is or what else he's done. And I'm not even sure if I'm 100% correct on that one, but
you're right because I know about it and I didn't even watch the show.
Yeah, there's one other guy that does the Joker other than Mark Hamill who's a regular as Joker.
He's actually kind of built like the cartoon Joker, like long, skinny face, taller guy.
Yeah.
But he's got
I want to live. I at least want to visit the alternate universe where Michael Caine remembers his lines when Heath Ledger comes in the room.
Wait, did he not know his lines?
So I'm surprised you may know this, you may just not remember it. When Heath Ledger bursts in the room, like Michael Caine as Alfred, like has lines to say there, but because Heath Ledger, like it was the first time he'd seen him, and he came in and was so striking and made such an entrance that Michael Caine was taken aback and was like, "Oh my God, I forgot what to say," and so Heath Ledger just goes through, plays the room like he did. And the whole time Michael Caine's like, I forgot my lines. But like it played perfectly because Alfred's there just completely frozen stiff.
Right.
But the alternate universe where Alfred gets his lines out would be real interesting. Because I don't think he's ever revealed what his line was.
Was there not like another take? Was that the only take they did?
That was one take. It was one take.
Oh, one take Jake.
Oh, one take Heath.
Back.
But he one took it too many.
Yeah. Oh. What was the other ones I watched? Being Frank with what was his name, Jake? Comedian.
From what?
He's the doofy blonde.
Oh, Jim Gaffigan.
Gaffigan, there we go.
Oh, okay.
Hot Pockets guy.
Yeah, Hot Pockets guy.
Yes, that's him.
Pockets.
I was watching TikToks and I saw a clip of this movie and it's got him in it and it's like don't kiss her, she's your sister. And I'm like, what is this movie? And then you discover that Jim Gaffigan in this movie is living a double life. He's one of those guys that lives 2 weeks with one family, then goes to Japan for 2 weeks and lives with his other family. And he's got like 2 kids with one family and 2 kids with the other family.
And his kids meet and they want to hook up.
The daughter, the first family.
Let's see, family A.
Family A has a son who's like, he's super rebellious, and dad is really strict with him. And he's like, hey, I'm going to fucking spring break. I'm going to go to the lake and do whatever I want.
Spring break Jake.
Spring break
No.
Jake. And when he's there, he's like seeing this chick that he wants to hook up with. He's like, oh God, there she is. And he looks behind her and he's like, oh God, duck. That's my dad. My dad followed us here. Fuck. Wait, what is he doing hugging that hot chick over there? What? Why is she holding his hand? What the fuck is going on? Let's follow him. They follow him, and he goes into this house. They like sneak around the side of the house, and he like, oh, hi, honey. I'm so happy to be home. And he's like, what the fuck? Why is my dad kissing this lady and these kids are calling him dad? Who the fuck said that shit? Yeah. And that's really like in the first 10, 15 minutes that all goes down. And I was like, it's funny. There's funny moments. So basically the son from family A figures out that there is a family B. Family B doesn't find out until the very end. Family A also doesn't find out, and son from family A is trying to help dad cover it up because somehow family A also went to the lake for spring break. And so these two families are going to run into each other and the shenanigans.
Hilarity ensues.
Exactly.
That actually sounds like it'd be kind of funny.
It's not bad. Like I watched all of it today.
And I'm not a big Gaffigan guy, but I would give that a look.
I'm not either.
I would also like to know what that motherfucker does for a living, because I couldn't afford one family right now.
His dad started a company.
There you go.
What I got from and so he's like president of the company. Yeah, yes. And so he's in Japan. I think it was like a ketchup company, which is the weirdest. Like, you're a ketchup guy, huh?
Heinz 56.
Yeah. But think about it. We've got
Heinz 56. If the Moaning Miners wasn't so great, Heinz 56 would be the name.
I don't know if we want to post Moaning Miners on the webs.
I do.
I will.
Dave wants to post Moaning Miners all over the web.
Hey-o.
There's so many of these like weird, like if you think about it, weird like billionaire families for something like ketchup.
Right.
Like there's
like on Mean Girls, you got her dad invented toaster strudels.
Right. Like or the Cottonelle family. I'm pretty sure that's a Johnson & Johnson, but let's just imagine it's a separate company.
Yeah.
But
yeah, like the Heinz family, for instance.
Yeah. There's a perfect one.
Like John Mitsubishi
or
his
Hunt.
family.
Aren't the two ketchup companies Hunt's and Heinz, and they both own NFL teams? Because aren't Hunt's the Kansas City one, and Heinz is the Pittsburgh Steelers?
I think so.
Yeah.
No, Heinz is the Steelers, and Hunt's the Chiefs.
I don't think Heinz.
What did I say?
Has the Steelers anymore.
I may have disagreed with you.
Okay. You may have accidentally agreed with them. I can't remember.
I've heard it either way.
I may have just said it in the opposite order. But I know the Wrigley family owns, like Wrigley's Gum owns the Cubs, and then the Anheuser-Busch Busch family owns the Cardinals, which is why the Busch beer exists.
And the Brewers.
Do they own the Brewers?
Think about the name.
Story is awesome.
Well, yeah, but I didn't know if they were affiliated.
Yeah, Dave, you know the story, right?
The Busch story?
Yeah.
I know the Busch story. I don't know
the Busch story. That's
story.
That's the one I was saying I love that story.
Gotcha.
That is a fuck you money to the T kind of story.
New beer.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, you won't let me? All right, fuck you.
Yeah, there's a lot of families like Gillette Stadium and Robert Kraft.
Kraft, yeah.
Yeah.
Morton Salt.
Wait, who's theirs?
Morton's.
No, but what team do they own?
Oh, I was just saying rich people who own shit.
Oh, no. the family that owns the Walmarts owns the Broncos and
the Walton
and a
family.
whole bunch of shit.
Mark Cuban owns the Mavericks.
Uncle Phil tried to buy the Blazers.
Yeah, but they're bitches.
speaking of people, athletes buying teams and shit, Patrick Mahomes and Patrick Maotto, they just bought into the Alpine F1 team, with a bunch of other
Oh,
fuckers.
Okay.
So yeah, they're seeing where the money is going, and they want to get some of that Saudi Arabian blood money in their pockets.
Yeah, right.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did you see the story about Caleb Williams where he's shopping around to the NFL teams that he wants ownership in whatever team drafts him?
Which is, I mean, a quick way to just not get drafted is
right.
Yeah.
So they had Pat McAfee had one of the NFL scouts on his show today, and he was talking. The guy brought that up. He's like, "This kid hasn't thrown a single pass in the league, and he's making these demands, or at least putting that out there. Teams are going to be turned off by that."
Well,
and he looks like a joke.
I mean, Tom Brady. I'm sorry, Dave. Please talk.
The Michael Jordan commentary on the NIL deals. Have you guys seen that one?
Mm-mm.
Michael Jordan basically said that he doesn't agree with the NIL because it's pumping these kids up with an idea of what they're worth, but when they get to the pros, they're not worth what they were worth in college.
That makes sense.
That's what made me think of that.
Right.
The Caleb Williams story. It's like he is so inflated, his head's so inflated with what he's worth as a college football player that he wants. I want all of this before I even get into
the difference.
The league.
And I'm going to come back to Jake's Tom Brady thing here in a second, but the difference is you have all of these tiny little pockets of money in the country. You know, like there's 130 D1 schools or something like that for football.
133.
Something like, yeah. They all have their own money, and there's no salary cap. There's no owner. They're like, when you get into the NFL, it's a business.
Yep.
And you're working inside of a business. There's a structure set up. Yeah, you can go make money outside, but nobody is going to just give you money to come to their team because that's not how it works. So good luck.
Yeah, good luck. We hope you do well, Caleb.
The Tom Brady thing though, like that guy that was on there, I wish I could remember his name. He goes, if Tom Brady couldn't get ownership, what makes you think at 20 years old or whatever, having never thrown a pass, having never taken a team to a single win, let alone Super Bowl wins, what makes you think that you are suddenly worth ownership of a team? The answer is you're not worth it.
How many of these first or second round quarterbacks or, top 10 pick quarterbacks have washed out in our lifetimes?
Literally half of the players that will get drafted every year don't make teams.
Go Ducks.
Go Ducks.
Go Ducks.
Let me touch back on this Michael Jordan thing because I feel as though his opinion. Oh, that's funny. I got it exactly the same on the logo.
There you go.
I think it's a little hypocritical for him to be like, oh, these kids are getting an overinflated sense of what they're worth. Because if we are to believe what we're led to believe in the most recent biopic of him and his mother basically took the shoe industry and said, well, you know what? This guy's worth more than anything you've ever offered anyone because he is. So I don't know. It's a little bit of a boomer pulling the ladder up move, in my opinion.
It's a good point.
But
that is a very good point.
And also at the same time, like these kids are worth what people will pay them. That's like the whole purpose. That's the whole point of our capitalistic society is that what is something worth? What someone is willing to pay for it.
Yeah.
What is Caleb Williams worth? What someone is willing to pay him, and he's going to find when he gets to the NFL that number is different. But that doesn't mean that he should not maximize his earnings now, and that his value in college is not that number. Just because your value in the pros is lower than your value in college does not mean that your value in college is not valid.
It's the same as buying a new car for $36,000 and then driving it off the lot and it's worth $24,000.
Yeah. Or buying
just
a
what
new
people
car
are willing to pay
for
for it. Right. Right. Fuck. I want to go back to that Michael Jordan thing though. Like You're not wrong, but also there's only one Michael Jordan, and there has only been one. So his mom was guessing.
Yeah. Oh, she
100%.
bet on him 100%. But I would think that Caleb Williams would argue with his natural abilities and whatnot that there has only been one Caleb Williams to this point. And
there has, but he's not worth Michael Jordan. He's not worth Tom Brady.
I'm not disagreeing. I'm just simply saying that,
I know.
like, I understand why he's asking for what he has the right to ask for what he's asking for, and he has to understand that he's not going to get it.
Yeah. Well, it's just like anything, any decision you make in your life, you make the decision. You do what you want to do.
Right.
But at the end of the day, you don't control what happens outside of your own decision making.
I don't know why that reminded me of when Robert Downey Jr. was on Joe Rogan and they were talking about Tropic Thunder, and Joe goes, you couldn't make that movie today, and Robert Downey Jr. goes, oh, you could make it.
You could make it.
But the fallout and the reactions are going to be vastly different, I would imagine, than
I don't know. I think you could make it. I think it'd be fine.
You could too.
Because
after watching it today, oh my God, it's so funny.
Not only is it so funny, like I have watched several different like comedic breakdowns, because I do that sort of shit, of like of how Robert Downey Jr.'s blackface was the exception that proves the rule. Like, it is the only instance of tasteful blackface, because it wasn't done to make fun of black people. It was done to make fun of a certain type of actor. And when you consider that, it's even funnier.
It's even funnier and more on the fucking nose.
Right on the nose, because he's literally, and they call it out, like he's literally taking jobs away from black actors,
right,
because of who he is. Like, it's like that movie is a lot deeper than people give it credit for, because it touches on a lot of issues within the industry. And Bill Hader is just going off emulating a certain A&R guy who apparently was just...
The whole movie is a parody of the movie industry.
They're playing caricatures of life.
Making movies.
Yeah.
Rum-tum Tuggernut.
Never go full retard.
I don't think I have to bleep that.
You don't have to bleep that one. I was quoting a movie.
Yeah,
that was a parody of a parody.
You don't have to. Guys, go ahead and remember that, because that's probably the only time it's not going to get silenced.
It's not going to get the old Dave bleep.
Yeah, you fucking cards.
And there it is.
Damn it.
1 hour, 8 minutes, and 40.
It's been a long time since I said a bleepable.
You say that every time.
Yeah, you say it like every third week.
It's been like 3 weeks since I've said.
God damn it.
20 seconds later.
20 seconds. And then again.
I got a buddy that listens to the show in Minnesota. And,
no, you don't.
No, okay, I'm sorry. You guys are my only two friends. Sorry.
So tell me about your fake friend in Minnesota.
I forgot where I was going with that.
I got a buddy in Minnesota that says...
I got a buddy.
I've
mentioned him a few times. I feel like I want to mention him from time to time just because he messages me about the show and stuff like that. So
it's like
Rocco,
when we talk about Bullet Sponge.
I'm gonna take a swig for you.
I almost just said a Bullet Sponge thing just now too, because he said like we're his only two friends, and when Bullet Sponge got on Call of Duty the other day, I had the Hangover clip queued up, because we're the three best friends that anybody could have, and he just started fucking cracking up. He's like, I gotta text my wife about that.
Well, let her know that I actually do have friends.
I do have friends.
I have never, like, through the history of online gaming, and you meet people online and play video games and you talk to them, like, I've never wanted to actually go meet someone more than Bullet Sponge. I'll say that right now for you.
I thought you were about to say I've never wanted to meet someone, and I was about to tell stories.
Yeah, I've had a few people that I've talked to, and like if you look on my Facebook friends, Andrew, I think it's Gonzalez is his actual name, but
on the guy from Florida.
Yeah, Pono's father is his name on or his gamer tag, but he's one that like we've talked about him multiple times. I sent him ice cream in the mail.
Yes, I
which didn't
played.
work.
I played games.
Oh,
with
that
him, too.
guy.
That guy,
Yeah.
yep. Yeah. Game friends are weird.
They are. I mean, this is also different because I've actually spoken to Bullet Sponge.
Right.
Like I've had.
No, there's nothing
conversations
wrong
him.
with it. Like
Yeah.
we had one on here.
Mhm.
Yep.
Well, yeah, and the same thing. Like the Stroktagon, like I would drive up to Canada
We
to go
would
visit him.
probably like he would have a good time hanging out with us.
Like wait, what part of Canada is he from? I can't remember.
Victoria, but he
He's
lives in Vancouver.
like that direction.
Yeah, he's like he's right
For
over
me,
here.
he's like
He's right over there.
there.
Yeah,
Ish.
but like he's just like he's almost the drive I used to make when I lived up in Washington to come home.
He's
like,
just further up
every
I-5.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like every other month I drove down here. I made that drive. I can make that drive up there.
Just
I don't know if I
drive
get
to where
into
they're burning
Canada.
the couches. I gotta get my shit right if I were to go. But hey,
Well, I had heard that you can't get into Canada if you got a DUI.
well, yeah, you'd be boned.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to. If you have a DUI, you have to file like some sort of like injunction to be allowed and say that you've learned your ways and
I've learned my ways.
Yeah.
I won't get caught again.
I won't.
Well,
I
but
won't
also,
get caught again.
I'm not 100% sure because I did a background check on myself when I worked at the prison. You're gonna bleep that because that's actually illegal. But
Wait, what?
No,
What
I'm
do I have
joking.
to bleep?
Nothing. I'm pretty sure it's illegal, but they can't get me now.
Yeah,
I did a
statute of limitations.
Yeah, I did a background check on
statutes of
myself,
limitations
and
is-
I don't have a DUI on my record.
Yeah, but they actually look at your real shit.
Yeah, that's why I'm curious as
They're
to
a
how it would show
government.
up because it got lowered to a careless driving.
Oh well, then you're probably fine.
Yeah, you're fine.
Yeah.
I wouldn't worry
As
about
long
it.
as it's not a driving under the influence or driving while intoxicated.
I have a
Yeah.
story for after the air similar to that regarding my most recent job interview.
Oh yeah, did that go
Yeah.
well?
It
Oh, well,
did.
that's an after-hour story.
But they asked me the weirdest question that I've never had asked, and it was funny because my dad asked. He's like, "Did they ask any questions you weren't prepared for?" And I was like, "No, it was all pretty standard." But they did. They said, "Is there anything in your past that would possibly bring embarrassment to UCC?" And I was like, define embarrassment is what I'm thinking, because
Like
I don't get embarrassed. But
how thick is your skin, bitch?
right, like I was like, no, I don't think so. I'm like, I pretty well liked in my community, ran a basketball tournament for 20 plus years, helped a lumberjack show, and my family ran it for 40 years. You know, like I'm around. I've coached multiple places. It's not like it's
I'm
a big deal.
around. Yeah.
I'm around, and nobody tells me to not be. I think that is the answer.
I'm around and nobody tells me to not be is a great way to put it.
Mm-hmm. I mean, this isn't a Catholic school, so you should be solid.
Well,
Speaking
if
of
it was, it would
Catholic-
be a boys.
What?
No, nothing weird. Jake's eyes popped up. No, last Thursday, my dad said something about we're having fish for dinner on Friday. And I was like, okay. He's like, because Catholics don't eat meat on Fridays. And I was like, wait, what? Who's Catholic? Well,
Looking,
I was.
technically, my dad
Yeah.
seems to think he's Catholic, which I get. I mean,
does he know
his
that
dad,
fish
his-
is meat?
No, but they don't count that.
Oh, well.
Yeah, exactly.
it's
I was
Good
like,
Friday.
That's how good of a Catholic I am.
is it only on Good Friday?
I think
Well,
it's
they've
only Good
decided
Friday.
they've decided every Friday is good.
Every Friday is good.
Every Friday is good.
Oh,
But
yeah.
also a good name.
I guess, yeah. Since Jesus sacrificed his flesh for us on Good Friday, we refrain from eating flesh meat in his honor on Fridays.
Wait,
So what's he gonna do for the Civil War?
I don't know.
Eat a
Not
fucking
be Catholic.
He's gonna be
carrot
fucking
and a-
hungry.
and a
He's gonna
bun?
be fucking
He's
hungry.
gonna be fucking.
No, actually, he's gonna be a good Catholic because I've always said Catholicism is be guilty your whole life and say you're sorry at the end.
See, there you go.
How do you keep one Mormon from drinking your beer on a fishing trip?
Bring another Mormon.
Tell
Bring
them
another
it's
Mormon.
beer?
Yeah, okay.
oh.
I've never heard that joke, but I was just like, hold on. Yep, I know some Mormons that weren't around other Mormons.
That makes sense.
hmm
Mormons
Yeah.
are the sneakiest religion there is. If you
They're-
guys don't know that,
Now you
all
do.
of them, every single one
Oh.
of them, as soon as they're not around more than one.
I had so my cousins that were visiting from Arkansas. I told you
Anybody
about that.
anybody
Rob.
around here Mormon? No? Cool. All right, give
Cool.
me
Right.
So my cousin was visiting from Arkansas. They're all Mormon. And so before they got over, it was kind of a to-do kind of thing, right? We were grilling out, my mom was making a bunch of food, we were making drinks, and my dad's making tea. I was like, yo, they can't drink tea. It's got that tea you make has got caffeine in it. And he's like, oh, okay. So I made a ton of lemonade. Regular lemonade. I set it out. They walk up with all the kids got like 1 liter of soda and they've got tea and all that stuff. And I was like, oh, you're that kind of Mormon. All right, cool. Like, here's some liquor and alcohol.
They're Mormons on vacation. It doesn't count.
Right.
I knew I'm not going to name names because I think they're still technically in the church because the scam that they're running on the church. They're like, oh yeah, if you get involved, then we can get your kid in at BYU and they can go to school for basically free. He's like, yeah, that's cool. I'll pretend to be a Mormon for the duration of my kid going to school at BYU.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I have a cousin that went to BYU.
Are they white?
Either that or Samoan.
Hold on. Let's do a little math here. I'm in America. All my family here is white.
Well,
Because all the other ones are over there.
Let's call your mom white.
Have you seen any of those TikToks?
Except for me and mom and my
where
sister and my brother.
the dude walks around BYU and asks questions like, "What's the furthest you've ever went with a guy?" or "What's the furthest you would go with a guy?" or like those sort of Mormon-y questions.
No, I haven't, but that sounds hilarious.
They're pretty funny because every once in a while you'll get one who's like, "Oh, I'll tell you some shit." Like,
Right?
It's pretty good.
It's like when what's it called when the Amish go on their trip into
Rumspringa.
Rumspringa.
Yep.
Those fucks go fucking crazy.
They're
Let's
like
go to
Mormons when
Pennsylvania
nobody's
for Rumspringa
around.
time.
We should.
Let's go to old PA, see if we can get some Rumspringas.
It's
When does
like,
Oregon play Penn State?
Oh shit. Oh, maybe we can find Noah and Anita Dick.
Is it during Rumspringa? That's all I need to know. 'Cause I'm gonna be
Does
in College
Rumspringa
Station.
have a specific time, or is it just whenever
I feel
they
like it's
start to
like
become of age?
when they're about to become an adult. So it's probably all the time happening.
Mm-hmm. Isn't I want to say, and I don't know, I've got nothing to back this up, but I want to say between the ages of 18 and 20 or something like that is when you're allowed to go in Rumspringa.
Yeah.
I don't know if that has that's an actual thing, but in my head, that's what I think.
I like how they call us the English. I'm like, we're Americans.
Oh,
Yeah.
blimey, mate!
This is America.
Oi.
This isn't the United States of England, motherfucker.
Yeah.
No, so they do it at age 23, and it
Oh.
seems
Oh,
to
shit.
be just
Even
whenever.
better.
But one thing I will
Yep.
say is keep in
Yep.
mind that these are farming people, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they would create the babies in the wintertime to be born in the summer, meaning that their birthdays, the most birthdays would occur
Right around football season.
right around football season.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is, when does Oregon play Penn State next?
Yeah, essentially.
We have a
'Cause-
schedule right here.
Because I'll go and
when you started with, these are farming people, it's like, well, I grew up around, I fucked a lot of farming people.
You may be
You don't have to be lonely.
criminally inadmissible to Canada and denied entry if you've had a DUI. Anyway, that was just from my last thing I searched.
Yeah, because we're all over the board. I've looked up whether Mormons can eat meat. I mean, Catholics can eat meat. Whatever, same
Yeah.
thing.
Those are the best shows though, when we're all over the place.
I mean, it's the premise of this entire show is that
It's a river. We don't keep it stale. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
it's like a river, but it's kind of like a freaky river.
Like the colliding.
You almost
rivers.
got me. You almost got me. Oh, I almost spit my fucking drink all over. Oh, if you would have, if you would have
If I had done the voice,
I
I saw you
would've-
drinking and I pulled back on the. I was like, I'm just gonna say it because I couldn't leave the dead air, but I didn't want to kill you.
Yeah, if you did the voice, dude, I would spray everywhere.
Kind of like a freaky river.
Penn State
It's
is
like,
the only Big Ten school to not have a protected rival.
Yeah, because no one gives a fuck. Their
What does
only
that
rival
mean,
is the
though?
police.
What does protected rival mean?
It means
Like-
they'll play them every year.
Like Oregon's
Oh.
protected rival is
2025.
Washington.
Oregon plays Penn State at Penn State in 2025.
So watch out, ladies of Pennsylvania.
Yeah, when you figure out how to
When
use
you see this
YouTube,
fucking
and
face,
you'll remember this fucking.
remember
face.
this fucking face.
Hey, this is the old Pirate Dave, and I'm gonna eat that
Rub
booty.
my nose on it.
Oh, the old Click Commander. I don't know why I did Click Commander and fucking.
This is old
Randy
Liquor
Savage
Dave
voice.
here.
Oh,
Oh,
it's
Captain
the old
Liquor Dave.
Click Commander. I'll tell you, it's the Click Commander.
I got you for 3 minutes.
3 minutes.
You're going nowhere.
That's all I need is a 3 minutes.
Oh my god.
Dave Saw. Dave Saw is ready.
Well, we're going to let's go to
my God.
Pennsylvania.
Jake,
Yeah,
do you
but-
remember when we were coaching, when Dave and I coached at Days Creek and we played Butte Falls and the Bonesaw guy was there?
No.
Do you know this story? Oh
No,
my
I don't know
God.
this story.
There was this big fucking dude that played for Butte Falls. He was not good. He was not really athletic.
He was
He's
just
large.
big.
But before the play started, the very first play, he goes, Bonesaw is ready. And we're like, what the fuck was that?
Right.
Did you guys hear that? Tell me I wasn't the only one that heard that.
And then the
He's-
Days Creek announcer started doing it because it was so funny.
It
He
was-
started doing it at games.
Oh my God. Yeah, that was a thing.
Oh god, that was so good.
Bonesaw is ready.
Because
Bonesaw is ready.
Because
He
Travis
was the
would
nose
do it.
guard. Yeah.
Not Travis. Yeah,
Yeah,
Travis.
Travis. Yeah.
Yeah, Travis would do it. He would be up in the stands with his microphone, Bonesaw, and Robin and I every time. We're just like,
Every time.
I'm trying to coach right now. Oh, fuck
Oh,
yes.
they're-
And you have to know that that wasn't the first time that that kid did that.
Oh no, 100%. He thought about it because at that point, that movie's like at least 10 years old.
Yeah.
So
Almost-
it wasn't like he's come up with it recently.
It's like he probably watched Spider-Man and it's like, oh, that's good. No one's gonna remember that.
That's almost
I'm gonna
20
use
years
that.
at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's almost 20 years at that point.
Yeah,
That movie has been
that was
out.
the first Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny. Going back to comedy, and this kind of ties into that with the whole like people stealing things from movies. First of all, that's all I've realized. That's most of what Maxwell Jacob Friedman does is takes lines from obscure movies and runs with them. Because I've caught him doing it a couple times
He's
recently.
done it. I've caught him doing it. Yeah, I don't
Um,
mind it, but
Yeah, exactly. I don't mind it, but to the tune of that, like I realized, like the art of comedians, like part of it was when Daniel Tosh was talking, like he was doing his stand up, and he's like, you know what I hate is when and like this is part of his stand up. He's like, when comedians are like, oh, so the other day I was at the store. It's like, no, you weren't. Tell your joke. And when he said that, I was like, wait a minute.
wait a minute.
So you mean to tell me all this funny shit that happened to these people didn't ever happen to them? They either just observed it happening or someone else told them a funny story that happened and they put a spin on it.
Yep.
And because I realized someone told me a funny story once, I'm like, oh, I could retell this story way better than them. And it would be 5 minutes. I'm like, oh my God, that's comedy.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, that's all it is. Because I don't know, for a long time, I guess I just believed in the earnestness of comedy, that it all came from an honest.
Like that's where you witnessed it, you lived it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, oh
Everything.
yeah, of course that happened to that guy. Of course this guy was in Starbucks and this happened. Like, no, you weren't.
Unless it's a joke by Richard Pryor about being caught on fire. You know, like those older comedians are like, I believe you. Richard Pryor, when he makes jokes about doing drugs and getting high and catching on, like, I believe you.
That happened.
I believe you.
He probably turned it up a little bit.
Yeah.
He punched it up, hit it with some tags, but
every once in a while they'll be like, this is an actual true story that happened to me. Like they'll point it out.
Mm-hmm.
But I was a kid when I learned that, because going to lumberjack shows, we had the clown act where we have the guy climb the tree and he'd do the same thing. And they'd be like, oh, what are you doing up there? And he'd tell the joke, oh, I was dating this, or I went on a date with this chick from, whatever town we're in's local bar.
Elmira.
Yeah, the bar at Elmira. And she told me to go climb a tree. And everybody like, oh, and I was like, what? Every week?
Every week.
Every week you're at a different bar and somebody tells you to go climb a tree and you just happen to have a clown suit on? I don't believe you.
You're like, I don't believe you, sir. Kayfabe is broken.
So I put it together then, and then watching The Office when Michael Scott goes, doing the Dundies, I was on a hot date with a girl from HR the other night, and Dwight's like,
what's her name?
So Dwight still doesn't know, but Michael gets it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you think about it, like, now don't say I don't do this, but how many times have we all told each other stories about something that happened to us outside of something happening in the group?
And you punch it up.
And you punch it up a little bit, especially when you know something's going to be funny, right? Because years ago when I was living with you, Robin, I was talking to this chick, and she's like, "You're really funny," and you know this because they had a stand-up night at that bar across from the duck store.
Oh, Taylor's?
Yeah, Taylor's.
Okay.
So this girl tells me, "Oh, you should do stand-up. You're really funny." And you and I both told her, "No, that's not how it works."
Right.
We're regular funny.
That's not the same.
We're not stand-up funny.
We're heat of the moment. I'm gonna come up with something and punch it up a little bit and make it funny.
We'll see something like the miners on TV, and then we'll flip that around to the moaning miners. Like
exactly.
That's what we do.
Exactly. If you tell me to do a what is it called, Jake? The hot five or
tight five?
Tight five.
Tight five.
Yeah.
If you tell me to do a tight five, it is going to be boring and stupid and not funny at all. But if you get me a few drinks and just get me hanging out with people,
you're funny as fuck.
I'm going to say funny shit. Jake, you're going to say funny shit. Robin, you're going to say funny shit. But I can't tell you that I'm going to write something that's fun. Yeah, I can't tell you I would become one of those comedians that tells if I'm drunk, I just record myself all the time. Just record what you say. Then you're like, oh, cool. I'm going to repeat that on stage.
I just had an idea.
Oh, there we go.
Uh-oh.
There we go.
Uh-oh.
For next week's show, we need to all write a joke.
Oh, God.
An original joke.
How canceled do you want us to be?
Well, we only have a listenership of like 20.
Just
all right, perfect.
Don't quote words that we aren't supposed to say. Like flag it. Wait, can I say flag it?
We'll have to flag it.
Yeah, we don't want to get it flagged. Because there's too many flags. There's too many flags at Oregon State.
Flag it's driving around Seattle.
I did think it was funny today. I did say that shit to that dude when he came up to me and asked me if I was a truck driver, and I'm like, no, I'm in a Suburban.
I was like, all right, Norm.
Yeah,
that's the kind of joke I would make too.
Yeah, I was just sitting there.
Like, oh, you a truck driver? No, it's a Kia.
Yeah, it's a Kia. Yeah, this dude comes up to me. He's like, "You need help with anything?" I'm like, no, I'm good, dude. And he's like, you have everything you need? I'm like, yeah. And like, I'm trying to subliminally tell him, like, I don't work for you. Go away.
Right.
And
sorry.
Yeah, he's like, are you a truck driver? I'm like, no, it's a Suburban. I'm like, I work for Reborn. He's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, fuck off.
But the punchline was already there, and that's the only part you told us earlier, which was funny. It was good.
Exactly.
Mine is like if somebody says Jesus Christ or oh my God, or if they're like God, I'd be like, no, it's just me. Jesus
You're also
Christ, no, it's
quick,
just me.
If you're very quick to, or he has nothing to do with this. hit them with a. If anyone says "God damn it," you're very quick to
Gosh darn
darn it.
Yeah, and then shoot.
Shoot.
Yep. There's a bunch of those quick pull one-liners from movies.
These people.
Hey.
They could have been anywhere in the world. They're here with us. We appreciate that. I broke the thing off my Oregon Ducks bottle opener. So now it's just a bottle opener. Yeah, now it's not a key ring any longer. But you can see what it looks like if you're watching this on YouTube. Available now, coming out. If you're listening to this on the show, then it's definitely been out on YouTube. Check that out. Definitely not sellingdrugs.com. Badfacts.info.
Definitely badfacts.info. Backfats.
And a missile. But for this episode, this edition of my show, good night, universe.
Fuck the Huskies. Go Ducks.
That's a podcast.
That's a podcast.
Yeah, I already did that part.
Make sure to go and check out definitelynotsellingdrugs.com.